doing? You see, how many times have we heard this saying, you are not a human doing, but a human being? Now, yes, this may be esoteric and cliche and silly, but I tell you this, it is not about what you do, it's about how you be with what is happening around you. You see? You got another question? You're gonna let me sit here all day. I'm just sitting here. I'm done. I was done with the answer. What do you want me to say? Let's go out for a cheeseburger? Come on, okay. After we're done, you take me out for some food.
And this question of whether we need to do anything to wake up is paradoxical, because ultimately, no. It's the letting go of all doing that allows you to wake up. It's the letting go of holding on to whatever you think you should be, how you should be, where you should be going, what higher states are about. Letting go of everything, there comes that complete ease and relief that we're looking for. I think that's what so many teachers are pointing towards. And letting go is in just about every spiritual tradition, whether you see it as forgiveness, surrender, non-attachment. It's all about releasing, letting go. Because the holding on is what we're doing. The letting go is an undoing of holding on. It's a releasing. So it isn't a doing, and yet, this is where the paradox is, there's a lot of things you can do which may help you do the not doing.
The one thing that we need to do is change our minds. We don't need to do anything out there. We don't need to change behavior. We don't need to fix other people. We do need to change our minds.
Even the crucifixion is the clue. The crucifixion says nothing you can do physically with your hands can help you realize what is true. So hammer them down. Nowhere you can go with these feet. No sacred site, Machu Picchu, anything will help you know what's true. Might as well hammer them down. Okay, now you start to have an experience. Be with what's happening with you in the moment. And while you sit in there, the heat of your emotional body is going to come up. The fear, anger, and grief that you have been running away from by your doings and by your going into different places, these will come up. And when you allow yourself to sit in this, it will awaken your feeling capacity to the point that you can realize what you are and where you are. That heaven is now. That you already died. People go that this is death, right? This is not death. It's a physical shift of the experience.
No, there isn't a world to save. What you want to save is what you're experiencing within yourself. And again, when you change the internal state within yourself, the outside starts to change. There is a great benefit from trying to make a difference in the world, but that difference doesn't come from the outer promptings, it comes from the inner promptings. You want to pay attention to what's going on inside of you. When you feel inspired to do something that looks like it's making a difference in the world, it's making a difference in your world. You're doing it from the inside. For me, I want to pay attention to the divine's inspirations, the divine's nudgings from within me to do something. I don't want it to come from the media. I don't want it to come from other people. I don't want it to come from other egos. I don't want it to come from my own ego. I want it to come from the divine. When I act from that internal state, then I start to change the world. The world is totally fine the way it is, but we will grow and see more spirituality within it as we awaken within us.
Because I don't think the world needs saving. I really feel like the world is doing fine. I think that it's us that we need to put our attention on shifting and changing the way in which we think and the way in which we look at things.
Is there anything that we really need to do in our lives? Do we need to save the world? Here's the interesting thing, and it's very difficult for a lot of people to accept, especially if they're very involved in save the planet or solve this problem or correct this deficiency or whatever it is games. And what we call the physical universe and all the invisible aspects of it, like chakras and everything else, I call that the physical universe. It's just a playing field on which people are playing all kinds of very sophisticated games. None of it's real. None of it's really happening. It's all just games. So everything that you see around you, everything you see in the news, it's all just a story that you're making up in your mind. It's an illusion that you're creating and convincing yourself it's real. So no matter what the problem is, no matter what the problem with the world is that needs to be saved or corrected or fixed, it's just a game. So if it would be fun for you to play that game and solve that problem, solve the global warming problem, solve the pollution problem, make recycling, a mainstream thing, all these kinds of things, solar energy, whatever it might be. If it would be fun for you to play that game, you can play the game for the pure fun of it. But is there a real problem that needs to be corrected? Is there anything that must be done in the world, or else some terrible, tragic, whatever? No. It's all made up. It's all stories. It's all games. And you can go there if you want, but you don't need to, and there's no problem. And the really interesting thing is, I remember reading an article when I was a kid. The significance that it had on me was it was kind of tracing things back throughout history. And there are all these times in history where there were these really serious problems, and everybody was worried that if we don't fix this, something terrible is going to happen. And then just as mankind, so to speak, was like just pushed to the brink where that thing was about to happen, all of a sudden somebody popped out and solved the problem. The disaster never happened.
Another way to consider your reality is much like a video game. Is there anything the character in the game needs to do? Not really. If it's fun for him to feel trapped and limited, he can do this. But who is the character in the game really?
The video game is such a great analogy. Consider you create a video game. You build the screen, the computer, and write every line of code that makes the game come to life. Marveling in your creation, you move the character around in this virtual world, and you think to yourself, I wonder what it would be like to experience life as the video game character. We'll call that character Martin. The next thing you know, your awareness shifts and you are Martin in a 3D hologram. And to make it seem much more real, you choose to forget that you're also the programmer who created Martin and the whole game itself. Now, inside the game, you're experiencing life as Martin, and you've gotten so wrapped up in it that you actually think Martin's reality is reality. As the player in the game, this allows you to have a huge array of experiences that aren't possible outside the video game. Perhaps this analogy gives you some insight into your own life and what's really going on here. The interesting thing was that in our own lives, we found we were often having experiences that didn't seem like fun.
Who suffers? Who wants to know? Who is asking all these freaking questions? And I wish it would stop. I am having a headache.
People tend to suffer when they resist the actuality of what is. We are here to experience duality. The ups and downs, the joys, the sorrows, the pains, the pleasures. And for those who don't understand that, it's a lot like resisting the weather. You get sunny days, you get cloudy days, you get thunder and lightning and rain, and you can resist them, but all you will do is suffer because it's not going to change the actuality of what is.
The question is, why do we believe in suffering? And then we project it and see it out in the world. So the suffering that we see out there, again, is the suffering in my mind. A mind that's split in two, that has two different thought systems in it, is in conflict all the time. And the way it looks when you look out there is sickness, pain, suffering, and death.